Sorry about that, Scorpio. I was doing your reading and for some reason it just literally cut off. So maybe someone was trying to end your reading, or perhaps maybe those were the messages that you needed. But for those of you that wanted to come over here to get the rest of your reading, thank you so much for supporting my channel. So we're going to go ahead and finish out this reading for Scorpio. So you're moving forward. You're learning how to integrate these lessons. It's like you're finally taking control of your life. You could be getting a new car. Some of you also may be traveling. You went through a lot of heartbreak, a lot of strife, a lot of disappointment, a lot of sadness, Scorpio. You also felt very depressed at some time. You were dealing with a lot of disloyalty, a lot of delays. A lot of you had a lot of emotional pain that you're trying to process. And this could have a lot to do with your social groups and your partnerships, your family, with the Libra energy coming out here. But it's like you're finally in this energy of rebuilding for yourself, because you know that there's more that you bring to the table despite what you're going through. And this is leading you into this energy of just being the Page of Wands, where you're very inspired and you're realizing that you have limitless potential to create whatever life you want. A lot of you may be advancing in your career, or you're just moving forward. You could have had an ending to a relationship for some of you. I got the Grim Reaper. So the relationships that you had to end, Spirit is saying that it was in order for you to grow and transform from those situations. And you do rule death. So I don't feel like there's any second chances when it comes to these connections, because these connections were meant to trigger you. Spirit wants you to stay optimistic when it comes to your love life, though, because you need to stay positive. Don't think the worst about the next person that comes into your life, okay? You need to work through these feelings that you're having right now. Work through the pain that you're experiencing, the sadness, the grief, the pessimism here with the Five of Cups in the reverse, your energy. There's a lot of discontentment. There's a lot of you out here feeling like, things are never going to work out. But it's only because you're being impatient. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of impatience here in your energy. And Spirit's saying things are going to move forward when it comes to this family dynamic. If you've been worried about your family's good. Don't worry about it. If you've been worried about your car, I feel like you may have a flat tire. A lot of you need to get your tires checked, because there's going to be some type of some nails where you're living. You may live on a back road or in the country, or you may be going down a country road that has nails. So definitely get your tires checked, because I'm definitely seeing some of you getting a flat. Others of you may be moving to a different career after finally realizing that what you're doing doesn't really serve you. And you're having to work through a lot of your emotions. This is Aries energy. Aries rules the planet Mars, and so do you, Scorpio. So you may have Aries in your chart, or perhaps you're just heavily influenced by this Mars energy that's bringing in this sudden change, that's bringing in all this, these well-needed endings that you need to move forward, so that you can move out of this energy of grief and move back into this energy of working on your talent, your skill development, realizing that there is potential, and having higher standards. I feel like a lot of you have set the bar pretty low when it comes to your experiences, I'm going to be honest. And it's because you've been doing too much. You've been so heavily focused on trying to balance so much on your shoulders. So we did get the Temple of Carnelian, so you may be connecting with this stone. If you haven't, I would definitely get it. This is the goddess Sekhmet, and I feel like you're finally going through this rebirth and this renewal of energy, and it's leading you closer and closer to your destiny. Spirit wants you to let go of the need to always be right about every single situation in your life, because there's some times when you're not right, and it's easier to just be peaceful and keep the peace rather than to try to argue your point, especially if you know you're not right. If you know you're not right and you're just going back and forth with people, I mean, you could be a narcissist. I'm gonna be honest, Scorpio. Some of y'all can be very narcissistic at times because you have this fixed nature about you, because you are a fixed sign. So there's some times when you need to realize that the reason why you sabotage your relationships and they end so frequently is because you push people away because of your need to be right all the time. You are a very emotional sign, so sometimes you do take things to heart, and this is what creates this pessimism and this disappointment. But we need to move forward out of that energy. Spirit is saying it's time for you to dream and journey. You may need to put up a dream catcher, especially if you've been having a lot of nightmares. But I feel like a lot of you could be listening to a lot of instrumentals, or maybe you need to listen to like African, Cuban, just music that has drums in it to help you reactivate that feminine and masculine energy within you so that you can move forward. But definitely stay optimistic. Work through your current feelings that you're having and continue to move forward with grace. Don't allow these times of grief and suffering to stop you from moving forward, Scorpio. I feel like the main thing for you is when you get depressed or when you get down, you tend to overindulge. And this could be in alcohol. I'm definitely seeing alcohol. I'm seeing self-harm. I'm seeing, extreme highs and lows within your emotion. Some of you may need to visit a therapist so that you can work on these extreme highs and lows. I am going to school for therapy. So I know that the mind really is connected to the body and the soul. And when one is off, all of those are off. And this is the book that a lot of you need to get. Because once you get this book, it's really going to give you a bigger picture on why you go through the things that you go through, okay? And it has a lot to do with the mind, body, and the soul, as well as our existence here from life to death. So definitely get this book. This is a great book to have, as well as this little hidden jewel here. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth is the most amazing book that I've read thus far. And I would highly, highly recommend it. So I did pick a rune for you guys to close out this reading. I'm going to go ahead and read you guys your rune. All right, so this was the rune that you guys got. And this rune literally stands for wholeness, life force, the sun's energy. So some of you may need to get out in the sun and really harness this energy. It says, this sign stands for wholeness, that which our nature requires. It embodies the impulse towards self-realization and indicates the path you must follow, not from ulterior motives, but from the core of your individuality. Seeking after wholeness is the spiritual warrior's quest, and yet what you are striving to become in actuality is what by nature you already are. Become conscious of your essence and bring it into form. Express it in a creative way. A rune of great power making life force available to you. This marks a time for regeneration down to the cellular level, Although this rune has no reserved position, there is reason for caution. You may see fit to withdraw or even to retreat in the face of a pressing situation, especially if events or people are demanding that you expend your energy now. Now that such a retreat is a retreat in strength, a voyage inward for centering, for balance. Timely retreat is among the skills of the spiritual warrior. This rune counsels and opens you up, letting the light into a part of your life that has been secret, shut away. To accomplish this, you may need to call on a profound recognition for admitting to yourself something that you have long denied. There is a prayer known, I don't know how to say this word, guys, it's really hard, but it says that it embodies the spirit of the rune of wholeness. Address the sun in this fashion. So say this prayer. You who are the source of all power, who emulate the world. Emulate also, or oh my God, okay, y'all, I'm saying eliminate. Let me reread this, guys. Your energy could be just very all over the place right now. So just take some time to just calm, and I'll go ahead and reread this prayer. I'm tripping all over my words today. There's a lot of anxiety in the collective, okay? All right, so read this prayer with me. You, who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate the world, illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work. While reciting this prayer, visualize the sun's rays streaming forth into the world, entering your heart, then streaming out from your heart center and back into the world. This is a powerful and life-enhancing prayer. There is a caution here not to give yourself airs. Even in a time of bountiful energy, you are required to face and vanquish your refusal, to let right action flow through you. Nourish this capacity, for it is a mark of true humility. Practice the art of doing without doing. Aim yourself truly, and then maintain your aim without manipulative effort. Meditate on Christ's words. I can, of mine own self, do nothing. John 5:30. For by your own power we do nothing. Even in loving, it is love that loves through us. This way of thinking and being integrates new energies and permits us to flow into wholeness, which is the ultimate goal of the spiritual warrior. So you are a spiritual warrior, Scorpio. And this is basically saying that you are whole. Stop trying to manipulate people to come in your life. Stop trying to force situations. Stop trying to delay endings. You are whole. There is nothing that you need outside of yourself. And the moment you realize that, it's going to be like a lightning bolt. It's going to be like a sudden realization. You need to take time to do self-evaluations on yourself, even if it means you just sitting down with somebody and asking them, on the outside. Or maybe you need to write down in your diary, how you're feeling, and seeing how, your emotions progress throughout the week. It helps you kind of pinpoint your triggers. There's so many different things that we can do to stop, the trauma and the hurt that we go through. But most of the time when we're going through this trauma, we tend to project it onto others out of fear of, not wanting to conquer or understand our shadow, not wanting to fully envelop ourselves in that darkness and realize, that our pain that we go through makes us strong no matter what. And this rune is a really good rune for that, because it's all about taking time to realize your strength and realize, as a spiritual warrior, we're going to go through many dark times where, God is going to send us many different tests. And it's all about you staying committed to, your purpose here, your soul mission, and not allowing the anxiety, the fear, the stress, the worries, the burdens to burden you to the point where you want to end your life, or you want to end someone else's life, because it's not worth it. So that's a message that I have for a lot of you Scorpios out there. I hope these messages were received well. And if you would like to book me for a personal reading or support my channel, I have all of my information listed down in the description box below. I want to thank you guys for all of your support, love, and all the happiness that you sent to my channel. It means a lot to me. And I'm going to go ahead and end it there. So stay tuned for the next video.